Hey, Wintry here with another episode of Fan Prompts, a series from our podcast called Your Rivers Are Wrong, where we improvise entire worlds from prompts written by you. To celebrate the 50th episode, I've tried my hand at a little bit of sound design, some music and ambiance to color in the details. If you like it, let me know. If you don't, there's a musicless version on the main Your Rivers Are Wrong YouTube channel. Catch this episode in audio form anywhere you listen to podcasts. With all that said, enjoy.
You're listening to Your Rivers Are Wrong, the podcast.
Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or night.
Or night.
Did I check all the times? Yes, I think I did. Welcome to the Your Rivers Are Wrong podcast. My name is Merle. I'm one of the hosts, and also here is another one of the hosts.
I in fact am also here. I'm also here. Stop posing. I'm getting thrown off. Hi, my name is Dante. I'm the other co-host aforementioned.
Yeah, so smooth. Amazing. And in case you forgot, or have no idea what you're listening to, this podcast is where we talk about the wonderful whimsies of world building, the arts and aesthetics of setting up a setting, and telling stories born from those settings. There we go.
That's
I nailed it. I'm still good at this. As good as I was when I did it for the first time. We're at the last episode of the season. Do you realize
Ain't that
this?
crazy? Ain't that something wild?
It is.
We started the season at the top of the year, which means that it's pretty darn far into the year at this point, right? We're we're stepping into March. Into March.
By the time you're listening, this will be March, right?
Yes.
Which is not too far in the year, honestly. I feel like this January and February has been the slowest January and February I've ever experienced.
Really?
Usually they go super
the
fast,
opposite.
in my opinion, but maybe that's not your experience.
For me, it feels like February disappeared. It's like I
Really?
wasn't even here. It's like I passed. It's like I'm walking through a neighborhood. I linger a bit of January, say hi to the family. February, not a fan of, just blister past.
Just skip it right
and
through.
it's already March. It's not like I didn't enjoy February, but it was very busy, and I didn't really get to like linger and be like, "Hey, February," you know?
Hi, pal.
It's already gone. It's already gone.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. But to me, still March feels early in the year somehow. It's barely
That's
spring.
fair.
We've had the first sunshine recently, I think, after weeks of gloom, which is good, which is very good. Very excited for that to happen more.
Yeah, is that normal in Holland to have like a very gray winter, or is it like
Our weather sucks. I don't know if you realized,
okay.
but we have
I've been
shitty
there.
weather.
I know that.
Yeah. You know, there's one good side to that, which means that if it's sunny ever, everyone just flocks out like birds. It's like now or
that's
never.
so great.
We gotta enjoy it while it lasts.
It's like a holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so good.
So, you know.
Yeah, this February, actually for us in New York, it has been sunny and like nice.
Oh.
And when we walk out, that's not normal. So we walk outside and kind of hold our breath and are like, okay, sure. Don't jinx it. You know, we're just like, hey, it's a great day.
Okay, that's
Don't say
relatable.
too loud though.
Yeah.
Because like Mother Nature's going to be like, oh, you're having great days. We're actually having like our first real snowfall today of the entire winter, which is wild.
Wow.
And it's not supposed to be much. It's like an inch maybe. And that's more than we've had for the last 3 months, which is, you know, scary, but also fantastic for people who don't like shoveling, aka me. Hate it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll take it. I don't know if we've had snow yet. I can't remember.
You haven't had snow yet? But you just had
I feel
so
like
you
just a little bit, but like it's so hyper local. The other day I was having lunch with a few friends from the theater nerds.
Sure.
And he said, hey, look at this weird snowstorm outside. And I'm like looking outside and it's sunny. And he lives like 10 minutes from me. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh no.
What's going on? And he's like, but I'm not kidding. There's literally snow outside my window now. It's very strange. Holland is weird. We have weird weather.
The news headline is like, one angry cloud.
Yeah, exactly.
Passing through.
Destruction in its wake. Yep. Very much so.
Okay. Any updates for the week and any final updates for season 4, I suppose? Because after this, we're taking a little
pressure.
bit of a break.
We've been having a good game going on of Tangled Blessings.
That is so
update
exciting.
worthy? I think so.
I think so. This is the first time we're saying it by name, but like we have run into, so to speak, a 2-player tabletop RPG that it isn't even out yet. We're running like a rough copy of it, but it is fantastic because one, it's not very number crunchy, so super easy to pick up. Two, there's a whole
Which
lot
I
of...
love. I can't forget any rules because there are very little. It's great.
Two, it's like dark magic academia, which is like our pocket. It's like so...
If you've heard the other
so
episode, yeah,
comfortable.
you know what's up here.
Yeah, feel free to tap into the episode about magic, the episode about academia.
About all the teen angst we did ever, yes.
And thirdly, it's packed with prompts. It's packed with it. It's just incredibly packed with prompts, and that's like our thing. That's also our thing. It's full of things that are ours, and I think that is really, really cool. So we've been having a good time with that.
It's just so nice because it's so almost doesn't feel like a game because it's very hard to see where the prompt starts and where you just start making shit up. That's really nice. That's really nice about it.
Yeah, I think just trying out other tabletop RPGs has been such a blast. And
you've been doing some of them by now. I mean, your new series is kicking off. Nice, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, my voice is still a little bit hoarse. Last night I spent 2 hours on stream with the creator of the TTRPG Firelights, which was very fun. It was, this is going to be 3 weeks late, but thank you, RP, for jumping in chat and bringing all your friends. And it was a very fun time. Yeah. And now that we know that these RPGs exist, now that we've been enlightened to the fact that there's a whole lot of
to them now,
games that are just prompts, we've opened the Pandora's box.
A whole new world.
Like, oh, what's next to play?
Yes, very much so. Very much so. How was your week, aside from the entire month of busyness?
What happened last week, actually, is we wrapped up a D&D campaign, one that's been going on for a year and a half. We're playing in a Theros Greek-esque setting, and we retired at level 19, which was wonderful.
Whoa,
we beat the boss. It was
that's
crazy.
So high. Where did you start?
3,200 HP. It was wild. Huh?
What level did you start?
We started level 1.
Did you go all the way? Ooh, dang.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So a final boss with 3,200 HP is a lot. Wouldn't recommend, but we chopped through slowly but surely, and it was a wonderful time. And now we're starting a campaign based in a food world where everybody is food.
Oh my god!
Or some sort of connection to it. So shout out to Crown Candy for the inspiration.
That's wild.
The DM is very ambitious and it's wonderful, and I'm in love with my character, who I haven't played yet. They are a bowl of guacamole. And it's
oh my god,
fantastic.
I'm so happy
and I'm so thrilled
that this is real now. Oh no.
I can finally add a bowl of guac to my list.
What's their name?
Oh, his name is Camo. Camo,
the guacamole bowl? I can't believe it. It's great. Wow.
It's
okay,
so
okay.
great.
I dig it.
He's a grumpy old man who is on a quest for vengeance, and it's a whole Batman
and
situation.
He's also guacamole.
He's also
got it.
He's the bowl that holds the guacamole. We have to understand
he's the
this.
bowl. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Is the guacamole also a character, or is this lifeless?
Well, he's.
Is this like a codependency thing?
The fellow players in this game don't listen to this stream. This is a spoiler. He's holding the last avocado pit of the world in his bowl.
Oh
and
my god.
He's got to nurture and take care of it.
Atlas shit. Oh my god.
Will it hatch into an avocado person, or is it simply a pit? We don't know. He's got to protect it, and that's his whole goal. He's protecting this one avocado pit, and that's his. There's a lot there. There's actually a whole story we got going. But that's not
beautiful.
What we're talking about today. That's not what we're talking about today.
Nope. It's true.
What are we talking about today?
What are we talking about? In fact, this episode is a prompts episode. We did this one before, but not with these kind of prompts. We asked you guys specifically to give us some good inspiration for this episode. We are going to pick out, or we actually already have picked out, 4 prompts that you have shared with us. 1 sentence, world building ideas, pitches.
Right.
And we're gonna figure out what they mean. So I'm very curious what you picked, and I think we got a good selection this time.
Oh yeah, sure did.
We had a nice bunch of prompts from which we could pick. Why don't you start off with the first one?
Sure. This is going to be kicked off to you, which should be...
yes.
I'm going to preface now. I had 4 that I really hooked onto, and part of me hopes that you've picked some of the same ones I have, so I could see all of these in action. Part of me knows that...
we'll see.
Part of this is guessing. So we each do 2 prompts, and this is the one I'm tossing to you first and foremost. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. This prompt is from AJ Tyler. Thank you, AJ Tyler, for this prompt. And it goes like this. The pantheon of evil deities have done something they've never done before. they've asked for help.
Oh boy.
Big old world building prompt.
This is a big one. A big, like,
So
god tier one.
I could ask you for the context. I could ask you for a perspective on this. Maybe set a scene of them asking for help. It's all up to you. But I do want the deities to be, a little bit out of their comfort zone, doing something they've never done before. How do you want to tackle this?
Okay. I'm so bad at making up gods. I'm so bad at it. I always get it out of the way whenever I do my own worlds. They don't have gods. They don't exist. They're too hard. I can't remember them. So this is going to be interesting. Disclaiming here. Let me see. I'm thinking I would like this to be in a world where we both have a pantheon of good gods, 3
Sure.
lucky fairies, 3 happy-go-lucky ones that bring happiness and light and wonder to the world. And on the other side of the clouds, there is the 3 evil gods that are always annoyed by the good gals out there. They love gossiping about what their evil schemes will be once the good gods finally run out of things they can do and people they can help. One of these evil deities, the prime evil deity, in fact, give me a name. Give me like an evil
name.
Evil name. Something spiky.
Damascus.
Ooh, Damascus. Okay. Damascus, the lord of the dark realm.
Sure.
Has very long time ago, during the creation of the world, in fact, that they are revolving around, made a pact with the 3 good gods on the other side of the veil to share their influence on Earth as we know it.
Sure.
Whenever they interact with the world, if their influence on the world becomes so heavy that the balance is off, they have to have a conversation. They're very much pressured because the one thing that is keeping them equally invested is this contract, this deal that they've made. At some point, it starts getting really difficult to maintain the balance. And specifically because the other 2 from the evil pantheon, so to say.
Sure.
I'm very good with names today, as you might have realized.
Mm-hmm. The other 2.
The other 2, they're getting really fed up with the nice way they're interacting with the good guys. Like, aren't they supposed to be the evil gods here? Like, why are we making deals at all? Why are we even in conversation with them if they are the main thing that we hate most in this world, which is goodness?
Goodness.
Why are we scheming together with them if we can just do whatever we want? Like, we have access. Why are we still trying to be equal about it at all? Damascus is in a bit of a pickle because if he doesn't honor the deal that they've made so long ago, on the one hand, they have full freedom over their influence on the world. There's a lot more possible. But on the other hand, he doesn't really know what will happen to the world if the balance gets off. If there's no world to, put your evil plans in, then you can't be as evil as you want to be. Yeah. So this is a problem. Damascus asks for help from the good gods, but in a different way than asking what he should do. He's basically trying to see what's in it for them. So he wants to honor, I guess, the word of the other 2 evil gods.
Sure, yeah.
Around his table, right?
Yeah. Famously the other 2. The
famous other 2, yes, that are always mentioned in unison.
Yes, Damascus and the other 2.
The other 2,
trifecta.
yes. Capitalized, etc. He wants to honor them. He doesn't want to lose them because the more he's being like a shithead about it, the less they're inclined to follow him, because in general it's pretty tricky to be evil and also be very obedient to someone else. That's stupid.
Right.
That's not how it works.
That's
so
dumb.
If you want to keep us around, Damascus, you gotta get your shit together. We want free reign over this world, and we don't want to be tied down with this fucking deal that you made so long ago. And look at these humans being all balanced. Like, it's really boring now.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
So boring.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm the other god. You're one of the other 2. I'm the other one.
That's definitely
and the
how this conversation went.
The second other 2 just says, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So Damascus is like, okay, I will supposedly ask for help with the good god.
Sure.
But what are we trying to gain here? Are we trying to get free reign? Are we trying to lose balance? What's the deal here? I'm trying to figure it out as I'm talking, right?
That's totally fine.
To the other 2, he would say, okay, I am going to break the deal. The deal's off. Watch me leave. I'll be back in an hour, and then the deal's off.
Watch me leave.
A flourish of his cloak, and then he's out the door.
There's something very funny about gods being like, I'll be back in an hour. I don't know why. It seems so like, hey,
They have time.
gonna go get drinks,
Sure.
break an immortal deal, back in an hour.
Yeah, I mean, they probably have Google Calendar too, they're very busy.
He definitely marked it down on the Google Calendar.
Yes.
Saturday, 5
Meeting
p.m.
with good
Break
God.
immortal deal. Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. But to the good God, instead of saying, hey, I'm going to break your deal here, he's actually asking for help because he's not very sure if he should break the balance, because how can he be evil, as I said before, and now I finally understand my argument.
There you go.
As I said before, if there's no world left on which we can do our evil deeds, how can we be evil at all? So we do kind of need the balance. My other two here are getting on my nerves, and they want to leave me if I don't break this deal. So good God, help me figure this out. And that's what's happening.
I love that.
Does that make sense at all? I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, what an interesting situation. It's like, yes, we want to be evil. We want people to experience our evil.
Yes.
But if I let the other two just do unspeakable evils, everybody will be dead and we can
Yeah.
no longer be evil. So is the
It's a weird conundrum, right? Because the more evil your deed is, it usually involves death or destruction of everything, like permanent destruction or something, or, eternal flames and stuff.
Sure.
But then there's nothing left that you can keep doing your evil deeds on. If you
Right.
want to be evil consistently forever, then you have to only be mediocre evil. Is that what's going on?
Listen, if you
Or
want
it has
a
to be
solid gig,
counterbalanced with good? Is this a sort of Avatar Korra, where the dark and the light sort of fight every 10,000 years and then the world keeps going?
this has a lot of like
It's pretty tricky.
tenured professor energy, where it's like one professor just really wants to keep their job, and the other guys are like, no, let's stir things up. Let's
Yeah.
make this school something. Let's be revolutionary.
For sure.
I also am seeing like obviously Damascus has like a more nuanced evil, really picking at the heart.
That's why
and
he's
all
the
that,
leader.
you know?
Yeah. He also has,
Right.
outside from doing unspeakable evil, he's also a good leader. He's done like a
Yeah,
management course.
His leadership
Yeah.
traits. Yeah. Yeah, he took a minor in
Yeah.
leadership. But the brand of the other two is very distinctly destruction and more destruction.
Yes.
And he's like,
Kick the
that's not
system.
that's not a good evil. That's not a sustainable evil.
Sustainable
Wait, I love
evil.
that.
Yeah. That's what this is about. Okay. I finally figured out what this
Sustainable
prompt is
evil.
about. It's about being evil sustainably. Yeah. It's a sustainability issue.
Yeah, and Damascus is like, I got a good thing going here. I made this deal eons ago, just so I would have a place where I can happily, reliably, sustainably
Consistently. Yeah.
practice evil. And these other two are just going to ruin that.
Yeah. They just want to burn everything.
Why do two gods have the same tenets? Why are they both destruction? They've really got to diversify.
Well, it is because they're not named.
Oh, that's so
why.
fun.
We did this to ourselves.
That's true.
What's coming out of this? Like, this
What are the
meeting
good
is going to
gods?
happen. Yeah. What are they going to end up with here?
I mean, the prompt was not what the good gods will do about it. But if we're going to poke that bear, there's definitely one good god that's like, oh, this is great. Let's get the popcorn. The evil gods are imploding on themselves. Oh, let's watch the flames. And one of them was like, no, this pact is sacred. We must keep it for the balance of the world. Humans must experience both good and evil, And then obviously
dude.
the smartest one says, well, not necessarily the smartest one, but the craftiest one is like, perhaps it is time for the balance to be broken. Perhaps this is an opportunity we can take to better leverage our position and provide good to the world. Is our purpose not for the greater good? Let us talk to Damascus and see if this is something that can swing in our favor. Agreed. And then they have it's like a little, they're much more organized, of course. It's a lot less,
Chaotic.
their methods are a lot, there's a lot less chaos in the
Makes
circle.
sense. Yeah.
And there's so much like Hades from Hercules meets the magicians from Prince of Egypt. That kind of like, I don't know if you're catching that.
Yeah.
Where it's like
for sure.
it's like a I don't know. I don't know why I pitched them as good and evil, but they're not too different. I want to say in this little setting, they all have their little motives.
They both have their offices. They both have their like bickering, right? Yeah, for sure.
This is all happening in a 6-piece cubicle, where it's just
Yes.
they're all just very, very close.
If they have time in Google Calendar, they have offices, I think. Yes.
I think so too.
Anyway.
this is actually we're actually pitching this to ABC in a few days.
Are
so,
we? I don't think I
let us
am.
know how,
No.
Let us know how you feel about this. We'll iron out the draft before we pitch it to major news networks. But thank you again, AJ Tyler, for that $1 million idea.
Yep.
You'll be getting royalties in the mail. Yeah.
Yep. I guess it's true. Starting off strong.
Right.
Starting off strong.
Starting off strong. All right. What is yours? I think it's your turn.
Let's switch this up. Yeah. My prompt comes from the lovely GEWB2105. Thank you very much. That name that I'm not going to say again. And the prompt is the following. Always name your vessel or vehicle because the unnamed ones can only travel to unnamed places.
Oh. Ha. Oh my gosh, what the heck? My brain is like, immediately it's like, don't name your vessels. It's like, you can hear the whirring. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So the prompt says, name your vessels, right? So you can go to named places. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. I'm seeing this. I'm visualizing this. Okay, nice. I'm going to set the scene.
That's why I liked it.
This is
let's go.
If we had any access to licensable music, this would definitely be a time when you're hearing like the rock of the waves in the far distance. You can hear the clamor of like a tavern space. And tucked all the way in the back of this eatery are two men arguing with each other. And you can hear the slam of a knife into the woodwork of the table as this conversation continues to get heated. One man who is a bit ruddier. You could tell that he is an experienced sailor. He has clothing that is weathered and worn. He has marks across his face, signaling that he has been through many dangerous, arduous journeys. And he says, I can't let you do this, Tobias. The deal breaker has always been the deal breaker since my father inherited it from his father and his father inherited it from him. This has always been the name of the ship, and I cannot allow you to damage a single plank on the work of this magnificent vessel. It is not your call to make. I understand that you are recently captain, but this has always been a family vessel. First and foremost, you will not tarnish this vessel. You will not ruin this ship with your ideas. And you see on the other side, a younger man. You can see that he has like sleek hair. He's got the newly christened pin on his shirt, symboling that he is in fact the new captain for the vessel known as the Deal Breaker. And he sits back in his chair. He's got a cigar in his mouth and he is entirely composed. Again, his name is Tobias, as we've learned from the older man. And he says, now hold on. I understand where you're coming from, but understand your family's legacy is not just the name of the ship, but also the fruitless endeavor you and your father and your grandfather have always been tied to for the past century, past 2 centuries. I don't know how long you've been chasing this island in your great-great-grandfather's dreams, but you know why you've never found it. It's because you've given your vessel a name, and this island has none. And the old man simmers, and he's like, you mean to tell me a sailor as young as yourself believes that old wives' tale? You mean to tell me that the experience that we have garnered over the past few centuries as a family rooted in the foundations of our community's cartography, we mapped these oceans? You mean to tell me that you, a fresh face on this ocean, a new face to Mother Nature, knows better than us where to find this island? And Tobias remains stoic and says, there's a reason I became captain. It's because your efforts have been fruitless, and your father understood this. I know not of your maps, I know not of your competition, of the lineage of your family or its vessels. I simply know of your reputation as a failure, and I'm here to fix that. You have traveled, you have mapped every island you can find, and the second that you realize that this island cannot be tracked, cannot be labeled, this treasure you're looking for, there's a reason no one's been able to find it. The name you've given it, the sanctuary, has never belonged to it. It is known by something else, by a language deeper than what has ever been spoken on this land, and you know not the name of it. You simply convinced yourselves you named it, and that was your first and everlasting folly. Tobias reaches for the table, grabs the knife, plucks it out. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's a name I have to scratch off the woodwork. Hanson.
Oh my god. I wasn't ready for a pirate lore.
It's pirate lore.
It's a pirate prompt.
No,
I didn't realize.
You should know our podcast is distinctly
Pirates
3
and
brands.
Dark Academia.
Well, that Dark Academia is 2 brands of the 3.
Oh, okay.
The other 2 are Dark Academia. We have one named brand, which is Pirates. And the other 2 are collectively Dark Academia. We're building our lore here.
Right. Yes. This is. Oh my god.
This is all one long prompt, Merle. I hope you realize.
Oh, that's what's going on. I finally figured it out.
This is all going to tie up together all the way at the end.
I'm so confused.
Just you wait. I hope everybody listening, stay tuned. This
It's
is all
the
going to loop
ultimate
back
challenge.
together.
Like, we have to ultimately bridge these together now. It's a challenge now. I hate it.
Okay.
That was great. Hello.
Thank you.
I love it. Also, it's about being egocentric and stuff.
That was very fun. Yeah.
Such a good one. Wow.
Thank you for that prompt again. Because I couldn't remember the numbers and letters in your name. In the video, I'm just gonna put it right here. This is a reminder for
Ta-da!
myself.
Yes.
Put the name of the person here.
GEWB 2105. There you go.
GBWB.
GEWB. Jube.
Jube. Got it.
2105. Thank you very much.
2105.
Jube. Totally
All
butchered
right.
that. Anyway.
Okay. I'm gonna toss to you a prompt now.
Yes.
Are you ready for it?
Go ahead.
Okay. Speaking of things beyond our understanding, I have for you a prompt from Kurt Pryor. Kurt Pryor brings us this prompt.
Wow. Thanks, Kurt.
And the prompt is a very short one. That mountain wasn't there yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing this one. Yeah, this was great. That mountain wasn't there yesterday.
That's the prompt. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. This could be all sorts of things.
I imagine the way you're thinking is the same way the guy who said this was thinking.
Probably. I mean, there's the obvious thing, right? But I feel like we talked about this literally last episode where giants become mountains and vice versa.
Right.
So I don't want to go there, but it's so nice if it's a creature, right? If it's something like moving. I mean, that's kind of the point.
If that's where your heart is going, who am I to say no?
It's true. Okay. I know. Okay. I know where I'm going.
Sure.
Let's set the scene here a little bit. We see plains. We see a volcano in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
A large glistening lake. It's early spring. There's a small village nearby. In one of the plains, large grasses, some trees, but not a lot of shade. Every now and then, the top of a head pops up. We see a little hunter troop kind of move stealthily along these steps. They're from the village. We know their clothing. They're in the sun all day, every day, hunting for their food and coming back to the bonfires that they hold at night to collectively roast them on a community, nice late night barbecue.
Nice.
Daily barbecue is what they're doing here. It's great.
The daily barbecue.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Who doesn't want a daily barbecue? So we see the hunter troop, as they do every day, doing what they do best. Sun is shining above them. As we zoom in a little bit, we see suddenly one of them, who usually it's just like a peek of their eye and then quickly revert back in the grass, right? But suddenly we see how one of them just keeps standing up. Doesn't go down anymore. As we come closer, as our sort of fourth wall perspective
Our cameraman
on the camera,
zooms in.
Our camera zooms in, yeah, exactly. We can hear him say, well, if I didn't, that mountain wasn't there yesterday. That mountain wasn't there before. And on the side, we hear an older guy stand up. You can almost hear his bones creak. And he's peering, hand above his eyes, and he's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean that mountain wasn't there yesterday? And he's like, well, that's exactly what I'm saying. There wasn't a mountain there yesterday. I was here yesterday. I looked at that place. The mountain wasn't there. More and more stand on top of the grass, the whole hunting, all the animals that were close are probably gone by now. It's a shame. everyone's so invested in this mountain, and some are saying, yeah, I think I do remember that it was there. And others are like, no, I've never seen that mountain in my life. What do you mean? I think it is new. But what does that mean? How can a mountain be new? And there's all sorts of exciting chatter. You know, nothing happens here. It's usually just hunting. This is a pretty casual environment. Yeah, hunting and barbecues is what we know, what we're good at. That's what we do. There's nothing going on with the backdrop in which this is happening usually. Before, what's his name? Tall Steve over here suddenly pointed it out.
Tall Steve.
The one famous Steve. I think they have another Steve, which is not tall. So just for,
that's exactly how it goes. Yeah.
Just for, comparison ease. This so one's funny. Tall Steve. Yeah. I guess actually the older guy that was standing right next to him is just normal Steve.
Okay, cool.
But because he was there first, they had to figure out something else for the other Steve.
Right.
So, tall Steve is standing up, as rightfully so his name describes.
Yeah, of course.
I'm good at naming. And regular Steve stands up, and they're having a huge argument. A disagreement, almost. We never look further than, the grass hums right in front of us. And now we're suddenly seeing an entire mountain appearing, as if it just overnight magically appeared. What's going on here? So they're having a little bit of an argument over this, and then at some point, finally, Tall Steve says, okay, I can't continue hunting if I don't know what this mountain is and why it's suddenly there. And they're like, well, okay, fine, Tall Steve. They decide to, take an hour of their schedule, and if they haven't figured it out by an hour, they're just going to go back. He's just going to have to live with the uncertainty. And they're going to trek closer toward the mountain to see what's going on. Pretty exciting, pretty scary. They've never done anything else but hunting. They don't hunt mountains. What do you mean? That's not even a thing. But suddenly they're doing it now, putting on their bravest face, getting outside of their comfort zone. The mountain is actually rather close because it has to be traversed in an hour, so now I decided it's very close by.
Of course, nice.
As they come closer, they see that very close to this mountain, right before the base of the mountain, right before it starts sort of rising, they see a bunch of weird, heavy-set stones set in the ground. As they circle the entire mountain, they see more of them, and more of them. And the more they see, the more it looks like it's some sort of chain or some sort of mechanism that somehow holds this together. It's all very strange and ominous for just a regular old hunting troop from the nearby village. Finally, as they sort of try to figure out what's going on, the rest looks like a regular mountain. Outside of the bushes higher up on the mountain comes a small, peering face, darkly painted as if it's almost camouflaged.
Okay.
From a sort of hut or a sort of little house. Now that they look closer, it's almost like a cave of sorts in this little mountain. And they're saying, what are you doing here? This is my property. You shouldn't be here. I'm going to leave in an hour, so you better don't get stuck on my island, if you know what I mean. They're like, what do you mean? I don't know what you mean. What does that even mean? It makes no sense. The little figure explains this mountain is basically a floating island that has its base right here. They look very, how do we say this? Worse for wear? No, well-traveled is the better word.
Sure.
They look very well-traveled. They've gone far and wide, seen everything of the world, all kinds of cultures, speaks all kinds of languages, and is very reclusive. They're kind of on their own on this little floating island.
I see.
The fact that there's now a bunch of hunting people surrounding them is pretty intense. So they decide to just share whatever they know and be like, I'm not bothering you. I just needed a rest.
Don't get attached.
I just needed to recharge for a little bit. And then I'll be out for a few years. You don't have to see me ever again. And they're like, oh, okay. Oh, so I guess it wasn't here. At last, Tall Steve is like, yes, I knew it. And their argument has finally found a resolve.
A win for Tall Steve.
Yeah, that's the end of it.
I love the energy of Tall Steve being like, I can't work under these conditions. I must know.
Right? Yeah. The mystery is killing me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love a
That's
life
it. That's all I got.
full of just hunting and barbecues. Wake up,
yes.
Hunt, barbecue, sleep. And that's just...
Yeah, that's the life of Tall Steve.
And also normal Steve.
And the other ones, yes. Not all named Steve, just two Steves in this village.
There's only two Steves. Right. Okay. I like it. There's a little bit of mystery there about why is there a floating island, but gets the gears turning, Gets people excited.
Yep. I guess so. This is how I end it.
Okay. So let's tackle the last prompt.
Yes, last but not least. Okay, let me see. because I got 2 left, just in case.
Mm.
This might be a bit tricky, but let's see where we end up. This one is from Dire Sandwich. Thank you very much, Dire Sandwich.
Shout out to Dire Sandwich.
Never tell a secret to a forest, for it will make a strange creature to explore it.
Never tell a secret to a forest, or it might make a strange creature to explore it.
Yes. The fear in your eyes.
That's some like oracle parable stuff. The way it even rhymes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love the sentence. That's also why I like it. It's pretty intense.
Got it. Okay. The gears are turning.
We love it.
To anyone listening, there has just been a 10-second pause edited out of me just pondering. Thankfully, you don't have to listen to that because there's nothing to listen to. I see it.
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Camera violently pans out.
Ooh.
You see a darkened sky, rain pounding from the heavens onto the oceans below. A newly unnamed ship rips its way through the tides.
Oh my god, you're tying it in? You fucking madman. Oh my god, I can't believe you.
The old man, we're gonna give him a last name. He doesn't have a first name because he takes pride in his last name. Forrester says, "You're a madman, Tobias. Truly deranged. There is nothing out here. You've led us 30 paces north of any source of land. If we run out of supplies, we are done. There is nothing here. I will not die in the oceans with a stranger. This is your first expedition. How dare you take this ship this far?" And Tobias, standing at the wheel, unperturbed. And he says, "Have you no trust, Forrester, that I may know of something that you have never heard, that I may carry knowledge that you might not have ever beholded? Let it be known that I act on knowledge that was imparted on me many years ago, that has led me to your ship and your vessel, that only your ship's make could ever survive such a journey. I needed this vessel, and you, by consequence, are destined to be here. I search for the island that you have since wandered the waters for, and let it be known, the reason you have never found it is because it moves." And you see,
Oh my god. My god.
passing through the waves, entirely unperturbed, just barely before the horizon, a small mountain. Only
Oh my god.
ever discernible by its golden sands and peak just a few meters higher than the waves. Barely a beach to land an anchor on. And Forrester is going crazy. He says,
Rightfully so, yes.
"You are looking at a mirage that is simply floating debris. That's not an island. That's barely a footfall. How could that possibly be the sanctuary of legend?" And Tobias says, "And there are many more reasons you've just mentioned why you've never found it. For an impossible treasure exists here. Ready the sails. We are landing." Ship turns, creaks the wood, rocking against the waves as he turns his direction towards the island, swiftly moving away. And as the two converge, you see Tobias pass the wheel to Forrester, grab the turn thing handle to drop the anchor. What is that called? Oh my gosh, I know ships. We've been here before. No, the thing that drops the anchor, the twirly rotating thing. Oh my god, it's a handle. It's a handle that spins. People know in chat.
Yep.
Anyway, the anchor lands, landing on the very small beaches of this island, and magically, impossibly, the island stops in place, and Tobias hops off of the side of the ship, landing on an island that could only ever hold room for maybe 10 people. And peering from a little cave parked inside the side of this mountain, you see a very small person, painted marks on their face, peering up at Tobias, and he says, "You were never supposed to find me. You're never supposed to find me." And you see Tobias lean down, and as his gaze turns towards this creature, you can see the shimmering of magic across his face as a glamour fades, and this well-composed, human-like person slowly discards his veil and his glamour and reveals himself to be a proper fae hair made of leaves and brambles, body made of a ectoplasmic, almost translucent material. And he says, I have found you at long last. Your visit to my forest was many years ago, but I have not forgotten your secrets. You've imparted on me a great grand quest, and I relished the opportunity to chase it. You land on my shores, now I land on yours. And here, you told me, is the ground upon which miracles occur. And the second that he, the painted face, and Forrester all touch upon these sands, sky opens. Clouds part. The veil that separates the men and the gods departs. As a light shines down from the heavens, followed closely behind by a single darkened cloud. Peering over this small island are the faces of not one, not two, but three good gods, and one that deeply does not belong. A booming voice holier than the heavens speaks to this small island and these three few denizens, and they say, the gods known to the peoples as the other two intend to bring great destruction to your lands. They cannot be stopped, their minds are made up, and only you three, imparted by the knowledge of the gods, trusted by the sides of both good and evil, are charged to stop them. End scene.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
There it is.
You just tied everything together. You
That's the
tied
goal.
all of it together. I
That's the
can't
goal.
believe it. You're so capable.
So capable.
That was lovely. Wait, we had like a full adventure going on now.
I'm not gonna lie. When we played around with the idea of tying all the prompts together as a joke, I'm like, this is a bit. But I also
You were
said
fucking in
I
for it.
can run with this. And I'm like, and I looked at my list of prompts and I had wonderful prompts.
It's amazing. I love
By
it.
also the Twig and Charo Gaming, your prompts are wonderful. I'll put them up on screen if you guys can see them. But I saw Kurt Pryor's The Mountain Wasn't There Yesterday, and I'm like, I can work with this. I can work with this. I'm gonna toss that to Merle. She's gonna come up with something brilliant.
You were plotting. That's what you were doing.
I trusted your brilliance, and then you gave me
so good.
How did you made the floating island? That was you. That was you.
Well, fair enough. Yeah. That's my contribution to this episode.
This was a team effort.
Good.
So good.
Now it truly feels like a finale.
Yeah.
That's great.
I enjoyed that so much. Okay. This is the longest episode of this season, almost certainly.
I was going to say, yeah, wow.
But with that, we're wrapping up the season. This is the end of season 4. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
We're going to take a little bit of a break, but when we're back with season 5 and new ideas and new prompts, oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. We'll keep you updated on that.
For sure.
Erla, wrap this up for us. Wrap up season 4. That's the final prompt I have for you. Wrap up season 4.
More prompts? I thought I was done. No.
It's a surprise prompt. It's a surprise 5th prompt. It's all yours.
Very surprising that this is the last episode. Yes. As I'm finally, totally not forcefully wrapping up this episode, because it's been a while. We've had some minutes going on this one. If you guys have any comments, any prompts that you're thinking of, or you just want to share how cool your world building is, totally fine. Please do so. We'd love to hear about it. Please reach us at yourriversarewrong@gmail.com or any of the other things. Dante's YouTube channel is a great thing. I think we have Twitter.
We kind of do. I think we have.
We sort of barely have Twitter.
Yeah. Check out our Twitter at YRAW podcast. Your Raw podcast. We have all
Not sure
5
if
followers.
Anything's happening there, but
not really. But
you could change it.
it could. If things could happen. Things could happen.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I think in season 5, if we have any plans for it, we're definitely going to talk about how to make your rivers not wrong. I think.
Definitely on the board.
Is that one thing that we want to discuss? I think
certainly.
That's kind of on top of the list there, right?
Yeah, been there.
Because right now your rivers are pretty wrong.
Your rivers are wrong?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just putting that out there. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. It's been such a pleasure. And it's so lovely to have seen the audience grow and engage with all our stuff.
Oh my God,
it's so nice.
so fun. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See ya. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Your Rivers Are Wrong. If you have ideas for topics, prompts, or you just want to share your thoughts, please reach us at yourriversarewrong@gmail.com. That's yourriversarewrong@gmail.com. Also, a big thanks to Maarten Schellekens, who created the intro and outro music for our podcast. And most importantly, thank you for listening. We hope to see you at the next one. Bye.